Welcome to another episode of the travelballdad.com. We've got a pretty cool guest today, Morgan Frazier with Student-Athlete NIL. Welcome, Morgan.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, you're welcome. Over the last 7-8 months, I have been enamored with name, image, likeness. Enamored. I don't know if that's the right word or not, but I think there's a lot of opportunity. And me being a hustler, entrepreneur kind of guy, I think the sky's the limit with what NIL, name, image, likeness, is doing for college athletes and some high school athletes. And I ran across Student-Athlete NIL. They're involved with a large summit coming up later this year. And Morgan and I got connected, and I wanted to share with everybody what they're doing and talk about NIL today. So Morgan, tell us a little bit about Student-Athlete NIL.
Yes, so we are an agency of record that works on behalf of brands. We execute their NIL strategy. We identify the athletes that they'd like to partner with. And then we put on whatever NIL activation that they want to do, whether it's social media promotion, a merchandise deal, commercials. We help them through that process. With the athletes, we do not represent them directly. However, we sign the contracts with them. We help them with their disclosures to their school. And we also provide them with their 1099 forms.
And that right there from a legal perspective, and that's your forte, correct?
Yes,
on the
I
legal
am an
side,
attorney.
right?
Yep.
You are, and we live in a litigious society, and that kind of goes in touch with when you're having all these monies go back and forth, you want to protect everybody's interests, both the players and the brands, right? Yeah. So that's a necessity today. Morgan, we're since June, July timeframe when NIL became available. What are some of the takeaways you're seeing that you didn't see coming potentially?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, athletes were so trained. I know back, when I was in college, we were so trained to never accept any form of compensation, never accept a product, a gift card. Don't even go on like a dinner with the booster or else you will lose your eligibility. So it was really a mindset that like shift overnight to, okay, now I can accept money. Now I can do this and that. And a lot of athletes jumped on the first thing that fell into their lap, for better or for worse. But what surprised me, and it's just that athletes didn't take the time to sit down and say, who am I as a person? What are my career goals? What are my interests? What are my hobbies? And how can I use NIL to further my professional development, to further whatever hobby, side hustle that I got? And now we're starting to see that about 6 months in, athletes taking a step back and saying, okay, like I've done 10% off promo codes. I've gotten the free t-shirts, but what is this actually doing for me? So that's a little bit of the mindset shift that we've started to see now, which I think it's for the better.
I hear what you're saying. And, the athletes have gone so long without being compensated, jumping on the first thing and making a little money. Great, right? But aligning your personal brand with a company brand and making sure those are a fit, right? That there takes some thought that goes into that, some self-inventory. What am I looking for? What do I want to align with? And that's hard for a young person sometimes to fully understand.
Oh, definitely. Especially like you don't know exactly what you want to major in. Your major can change. You don't know career-wise, but just sitting down with your family and friends, sitting down with academic advisors, if you're in college, compliance, your teammates, and really making it like a board and saying, okay, I really like fashion. Maybe I start looking at, fashion brands, especially like the local brands in whatever college town that you're in, because as we're seeing now with the data, the majority of the deals are coming from boosters and local companies. Sitting down, identifying them, because those local companies are often alumni of that college who are more than happy to help out and do whatever they can to help athletes.
Another thing that I think that I'm seeing that's a positive is, let's say a lineman. Well, hey, in football, let's take football, for example, a lineman might get a deal and bring the whole, hey, take care of the rest of the linemen and we'll do this all as a group. I think that's pretty cool, helping everybody benefit. We talk about, or we see every weekend and every night, the Power Five conferences. There's a lot of money that's transpiring, and those athletes are very visible. Are you seeing a lot of opportunity at the D2, D3, JUCO, and NAIA levels?
Yes, actually, the first NAIA deal was just signed by a female student athlete.
I saw that.
Yes, so there definitely are deals, D2, D3. We have seen them come in. But those obviously, those athletes unfortunately do not have the exposure as like D1 athletes. But with those deals that we're seeing, I guess you could say like on the smaller division school level, these athletes, they have their niche. They have, on TikToks, their TikToks divided to their cooking feed or their fashion or nutrition, all along those lines. And they're really going for it. And companies, honestly, a lot of them do not care necessarily about, okay, you just have 100,000 followers. That's great, but what's your brand? They'd rather spend the money on someone. If it's a cooking company, this kid gets it. This kid, wants to be a chef. Let's go invest in them because I know our return on investment is going to be so much higher versus we just go to somebody who's, I guess you can say, an all-around influencer.
And it comes back to that fit, right?
Yes.
both sides.
Mhm.
Well, so the college athletes, obviously that's the intent of the NIL. But with scaling down to high school, we're starting to see some high schoolers pick up, and some states are allowing that to happen. Do you think that will be a continuing trend where more states will open up and allow high school students to take NIL money and still keep their status
I
as a high
think
school athlete?
definitely. Yeah. I mean, right now only 5 states allow high school athletes to make money off their NIL. But I think that will go away. And I think hopefully down the line there will be federal legislation that makes it all a uniform rule. But I think high school athletes, in my opinion, should get paid. And I mean, just think about the Olympics. These are high schoolers who, win gold medals, win silver, bronze medals, and they now can't take deals off that. But if they were in college, they could. So I think we'll start seeing more states, I guess, be relaxed as you will for high school athletes.
And I think that we're talking about the 1%ers, right? It's not going to be for every high school athlete, but you're going to have those that are, getting shoe deals and getting various other things. And having vehicles in place, I think, what's it going to hurt, in my opinion? And I think some good can come from it. Well, tell us more about this summit you got going on.
Yeah,
this summer.
definitely. So we just announced it this past Sunday. Very exciting. We're hosting the first ever NIL Summit. It's going to be this June at the College Football Hall of Fame in Atlanta. We truly want to make Atlanta the mecca of college sports. It already is for football, but we want it to be all sports. So the first night, Monday, we're hosting the NIL Awards, where we're going to recognize the top student athletes who have excelled in all areas of NIL, like the top entrepreneur, the top charity campaign, the 2 top athletes. We're going to be recognizing the brands who have done the most in this space, as well as the university programs. It's going to be super, fun event. Meta is going to be throwing the after party, Facebook, Instagram. So that should be a good time for the athletes to mingle, network. Tuesday is going to be all day professional development programming, which I'm most excited for, if I'm being honest. I think these athletes are going to learn so much, and they can bring back what they've learned at the conference to help out their fellow athletes at their school, to share with their family members all, this knowledge. Each session is also going to be recorded and turned into e-learning materials for Game Plan, which is a large e-learning platform that hundreds of thousands of athletes are already on and use. So that's a great aspect, but there's going to be panels that help address, influencer marketing, how to grow your following, but also how to protect yourself online, how to protect yourself against bullying. There's going to be an agency, platform for those student athletes who probably will go professional, what to look for in agents, how to negotiate, questions you should be asking, as well as, there's going to be financial literacy tracks. There's going to be crypto tracks. There's going to be legal tracks. Anything that an athlete wants to learn, they can do it, which is exciting. And then not only on top of all these awesome like educational tracks, there's going to be an exhibit hall for these brands to really talk to the athletes, maybe even do an NIL deal there. Like Instagram's going to be having a green screen with an Instagram reel, for instance. Another, I guess you say, social health check company is going to be doing scans on social media to see, you know, how are you presenting yourself online? Do you need to go back and delete tweets? Do you need to edit this? Which is extremely beneficial when brands, college coaches, anybody looks at you. I mean, as we live in a society, everybody wants to cancel somebody. Everyone wants to get out of contract with somebody. And this is just an easy way for athletes to protect themselves. And then
so this is a one-stop shop for student athletes.
It really is. And it's smaller this year. The hall can only hold up to 1,000 people, but it's for a purpose. Like we want to really this event to be exclusive right now, with the goal that maybe like 3-4 years from now, we can accommodate thousands of athletes, maybe even move it to the Mercedes-Benz Stadium or the convention center. We want it to be almost like, you know, the NFL rookie days, NBA rookie days. It's that one-stop shop, but it's for every athlete.
That is pretty awesome. And how long is the event? Forgive me for not knowing that.
It's 3 days.
Wow, that's a lot of content packed into 3 days. And I'm sure you get out of it what you put into it, right? If I'm a student athlete that wants to attend, you can come away with that with so much knowledge. It's going to, you know, potentially benefit you, but maybe, and you touched on this, your teammates, right? Go back and share. And where can they sign up for the summit, Morgan?
So if you go to our website, www.nilsummit.com, you actually have to be nominated by either an administrator or coach to attend.
Wow.
Yes. So the school's going to be paying for it. However, we are in talks right now to see with like different agencies who want to nominate their athletes, different NIL collectives who maybe want to nominate their athletes. So there will be different methods, but as of right now, it's just they can only be nominated by their athletic director, anyone in compliance, anyone really university administration or coaches.
And that makes it an exclusive event, in my opinion. And it's getting those that want to be there have an opportunity to do something with it. And so administrators, school administrators, athletic directors, coaches, if you have interest in sending your kids, check out nilsummit.com. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, making sure. Morgan Frazier with the Student-Athlete NIL. Morgan, thank you so much for taking time today. I know you've got a lot going on, and we've got to get going here. I could talk all day with you about this stuff, but if you don't mind being a resource for the followers of the travelballdad.com, that'd be wonderful. Extremely appreciative. And are there any takeaways? And you touched on this, and one last conversation, whatever you want to call it. What should student athletes be looking for as red flags for potential deals?
Wow. Honestly, I could do a whole segment with you on this and would be more than happy to talk about,
Why don't we do this
with you.
Time out. Let's make this the next conversation we have. Red flags for student athletes to look at. I'll grab you for 30 minutes here in the next couple weeks. And followers, we'll have what not to sign up for with student athlete NIL opportunities with Morgan Frazier here in a couple weeks. Those red flags. So Morgan, hang tight 1 second, but thank you so much for joining us today. And followers, please check out Student-Athlete NIL.com. It's going to send you to NILSummit.com, an exclusive first ever summit for NIL. Thanks, Morgan.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You're welcome.